You're listening to a podcast from the Finnish Football Show.
Yes, it's the Finnish Football Show. I'm Mark Wiltshire, and summer has finally arrived in Finland, and so have the pollen, and so have my allergies. So I'm going to be sniffing and sneezing through this episode. My eyes are itching. I'm in a terrible state, listener. But while I'm suffering here, the Finnish women's national team, the Helmarit, are travelling to the Netherlands for their first in the Euro 2025 qualifying doubleheader, although they do have to come back straight after for the return match of that doubleheader. I'm also joined by Keke Mullari. Hi, Keke.
Terve.
I've realised that made-up surname of yours is easier to say if you just say it a bit more slowly. So after getting myself in a bit of a mess last time, I decided to approach with a bit of caution.
There you go.
So we're gonna look through the Finland squad together, remind you of some of the recent results in qualifying Group A1, and look forward to the two games coming up against the Leeuwinnen, or Lionesses as they're known.
Wow.
I did do a little bit of research on this. And we'll also, Keke, take a look at the men's national team, because the Huuhkajat have got a couple of friendlies to play next week as well.
All happening.
So I reckon that we're good to go. And let's start by having a look at the squad, the Helmarit squad. We're focused on the Helmarit because their games are competitive games and they're coming up. They're coming up first. So let's go there with the squad.
Yeah, mate. So squad was announced a couple of days ago, and as you said, double header against the Netherlands. It's got a familiar look to it, but I'll just run through the squad. First of all, the goalkeepers, as those watching on YouTube can see. Maybe not those listening, but if you're watching on YouTube, I've got the old Finland goalkeeper shirt on. And
have you gone full kit again, Keke?
Always full kit, mate. Shorts the lot. But always
listener,
full
he
kit.
has.
I'm only 47. Do you know what I mean? But, and the reason I went with a keeper shirt today, mate, is because we've got across the men's and the women's team, we've got goalkeepers who have picked up championships, and two of those are in the Helmarit squad with Signorina Corpella. She's picked up a double in Italy with her Roma side winning the Scudetto and the Coppa Italia. So
stunning season.
Exactly that. The other keepers for the Helmarit are Anna Koivunen. She joins up for her first competitive Helmarit camp. She's been with the senior team before for some previous friendly, I believe. The cup, the Cyprus Cup, was it that we were talking about? But
this is Pinatar Cup.
That's the one. Yeah, Pinatar Cup. But this is a first proper call up into the competitive UEFA sort of fixtures. So congratulations to her. And Milla Maijasari, who's won the Belgian championship with her club Anderlecht. So yeah, two championship winning goalkeepers in the Helmarit squad, which is pretty good going.
It's great to have the competition there.
That's it, mate. Moving into defence, we've got Natalia Koika from Chicago Red Stars in the US, Johanna Tunila from Brann in Norway, Eva Nyström, Hammarby in Sweden, Emma Koivisto, who's just recently been released by Liverpool FC after a couple of seasons. The WSL season has come to an end now, come to a close, and after an impressive couple of seasons there, Emma finds herself looking for a new home. I mean, you just got to check out the sort of chat on social media and see that a lot of the Liverpool fans are quite, bit flabbergasted, to be honest, as to why Emma hasn't been retained. We've watched Emma for a long time. She's played at Brighton before, a bit of a WSL stalwart, you could say. So I, for one, certainly hope she picks up another club in England so we can carry on taking the kids down to support her. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there.
Any grounds you haven't been to that you'd like her to play at so you can go and watch?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Chelsea might be nice, but yeah, or West Ham. You never know. You know what I mean? That could be good. But yeah, I'll leave that up to Emma and her agent. I'm sure she doesn't need advice from me. But yeah, then we've got Nora Herum from Sampdoria in Italy, Tia Peltonen from Fortuna Herning, Naya Lettola from Brumbu. She's new to the squad this time. Katarina Kossela from BK Häcken in Sweden, Vilma Koivisto from Linköping, Evelina Summanen, who incidentally celebrates her birthday today. So happy birthday to Evelina if you're listening.
I saw also that Evelina Summanen was the Spurs player that played the most minutes in the recent WSL season, which is something we've talked about her a lot over the last year, I suppose.
She's been doing really, really well, yeah. And yeah, FA Cup finalist for Spurs this season. They was on the end of a defeat in that FA Cup final, but yeah, got through to the final there. So hopefully one step further next season. Then we've got Orna Siren from Lillestrøm, Anni Hartikainen, who most recently provided an assist for FC Rosengård in a 4-0 Allsvenskan win. Then we've got Olga Attinen, also Tottenham Hotspur, Sunny Franci from Real Sociedad. They were in the cup final as well, I believe, in Spain. Real Sociedad, so Sunny Franci's team. Linda Salstrom of Vitsja, and a couple more. Jutta Rantola from Leicester City. She's picked up all the Leicester City sort of Player of the Year awards this season. We've spoke about Jutta before. She's been doing first season in WSL and she's absolutely smashed it. So yeah, she's picked up all the Leicester City Women's Player of the Year awards. Heidi Kollanen, Orna Savanius, who's been doing really good things at Como in Italy on loan from AC Milan. And last but not least, Lotta Lindström of London City Lionesses.
I'm not sure if I misheard or if you missed out Ria Erling as well from Rosengård.
Maybe I did miss.
Maybe you did. Yeah, obviously I was paying attention. That's okay. No worries at all. You were adding all this colour around it. Orna Savanius at Como. That's a club on the up and up as well, isn't it? So that's
yeah.
What
men's
a place
team
to
are doing well
football.
as well. Exactly that, mate. Yeah.
Wow. So you mentioned one or two players that are sort of new into the squad, but other than that, any big surprises? Anyone left out that you might have been expecting to see in there?
I mean, obviously, there's whenever you get new players, there are others that miss out. But yeah, I mean, it's an evolving squad. I mean, this squad now has sort of got the keepers have been settled for the last sort of little while. Obviously, we're missing Anna Tamminen. She picked up an injury at the tail end of the Damallsvenskan season with Hammarby. So if she was fit, I'm sure she would, have a spot in the squad somewhere. Adelina Engman, who was also at Hammarby, but then she's now gone to BP, which is, should I try and pronounce that? Brommapojkarna in Sweden. Yeah, sorry, Swedish speakers.
No, I think you do ever so well with your pronunciations, because these are not all from one country; they're all over the place. These different places.
But yeah, like Adelina's been in the Helmarit squad for a long time. So yeah, I don't think she would bemoan too much. A couple of the younger girls coming in and possibly easing her out. She's had a long career in the national team. So yeah, it's but as we talked about previous, mate, and as I said a minute ago, the squad is evolving. So yeah, we've got the experience, we've got the youth coming through, and yeah, Marcos Aloranta has certainly put his faith in some newer faces.
Yeah. Now, so this is the third and fourth game. It's a double header against the Netherlands away, first of all, in
Rotterdam, I believe.
Rotterdam. Yes, thank you. It could be Rotterdam. It could be anywhere, couldn't it?
Yeah. Oh dear.
I almost did it with a straight face. So at the start of the group, and we said this, it looked tough. And after the first game where Finland lost 4-0 to Norway, it looked really tough.
It did.
And then it all evened out after the second game.
Yeah.
Finland got a great win at Italy, and the Netherlands, who lost to Italy, then beat Norway. So the whole group is two games played, 3 points, 1-1, lost one. And the only difference is the goal difference. And that's what puts Finland at the bottom at the moment, and Netherlands just above them with a couple of goals better goal difference. So what might have looked quite daunting double header, because we played them away on Friday and then at home next Tuesday, suddenly looks a lot more competitive than we might have thought before. So what do we think? We're not going to try and predict the starting lineup, but how are you feeling about these couple of games?
I mean, yeah, as you said, mate, when the group kicked off and we had that nasty shock against Norway, it was like, where do we go from here? But then the stunning win against Italy and the way the group has opened up, I think, well, it has. It's obviously put us back on a bit of a level playing field. So this is almost like a little restart for us. You know, we got to, as you said, the first game's away, and I think it would be amiss for us not to admit that the Netherlands are probably a stronger side. But yeah, I think if we go after them, we've seen they concede goals. You know, it's that 1-0 win against Norway was their first victory in 4 matches. Their previous ones before that, the previous 2, they lost 2-0, and the one before that they lost 3-0. So you can get goals against them. And yeah, I think the girls just sort of need to go into the matches with that confidence that they've gained from the Italy result. Put that little bit of trust in some of the younger new players, I think, and see how we get on. But yeah, I think, you know, as you said, we won't attempt to read Salorenta's mind and predict the starting 11. But you know, I think Savanius will definitely play a part. As we said, she's been doing really well in Como. She did really well against Italy. You know, Hartikainen has been coming in and doing things as well.
She's so lively down the left wing, and I enjoy watching her play. She chips in with the with goals as well, and maybe someone to bring off the bench when you want to liven things up for the last 20 or 30 minutes or whatever.
That's it.
But it's that forward line that's so experienced and performing so well, you know, like you say, for their clubs and for the international team. For me, it's really difficult to perm which 3 from that 6 might start.
Yeah.
And if they do start, then you know you've got some of the others to come on and freshen it up again. It's quite exciting, really, in that sense.
I mean, the last time we played the Netherlands, we was on the end of a 2-0 reverse, but that was a friendly game back in 2022, I believe it was. And yeah, so you know, we've come a bit of a way since then, and yeah, as I said, the confidence that the girls must have from that Italy victory, they need to carry that through to Rotterdam and see what they can do. But it is exciting stuff with the table all level. It's it's anyone's qualification, mate.
The other thing I noticed about those first 4 games was that everyone was a home win. Now that in 4 games, that might just be coincidence, but it will be interesting to see how that plays out over the next few games as well.
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned, but the home game's in Tampere, isn't it?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So it's at the Tamala Stadion. And I think at the time of recording, there's over 6,000 tickets sold. So so there's going to be a decent crowd behind the girls for that home match. And you know whatever the result in the Netherlands, in Holland, there, you know, I think as we sit here talking about it, I think we would take a draw away from home and then try and, you know, get them back to Tampere and see what we could do with the home crowd behind us. But yeah,
an away draw and a home win would surely be the very best to hope for, wouldn't it? That would be great.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, I mean, and as I say, you know, over 6,000 tickets sold, so it's going to be noisy in there in that new Tamala Stadium. And yeah,
what's the capacity there? That must be pushing the capacity. I haven't been there yet. I'm hoping to get there for maybe for the Ilves Asuk or Sorman Cup game in a couple of weeks' time. Is it 6,000 or 8,000 capacity? Tamerlan Stadium?
Well, they've sold over 6,000, so they've got a couple more seats in there.
Well, mate, yeah, but I'm just wondering how close it is to selling out. That's a cracking effort from the fans and from the Palolito to get the interest there. But these are good.
8,000
right,
capacity.
Okay. All right then. So there's still a chance to buy a ticket. Don't listen to my scaremongering.
There is, but for 6,000 tickets over 6,000 to be sold already in an 8,000 seater stadium, we're doing all right, you know. So yeah, it's whatever happens, the girls will have the crowd behind them.
Yeah, absolutely right, and it makes for a good spectacle on the TV as well. It's always better watching football with a big crowd, isn't it? So
that's it, mate.
Those two games are available to watch on Yle and on Yle Kaksi channel and Yle Arena, and I've put links to both of those games in the blog post. So wherever you're watching or listening, it's right at the top of the description there before any of the waffle that comes afterwards and all the links to our socials and everything. The first thing you see is the link to the blog post where you'll find everything you need there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on, Keke, to the men's national team, the Huuhkajat, who announced, I think today or yesterday, their squad for the two upcoming friendly matches. Do you want to do similar thing and go through the squad first of all, and then we'll pick out a few? There's a few newbies and a few returnees to mention.
Yeah, mate. So it's a pretty similar story. There's a lot of familiar faces, but yeah, starting again with the goalkeepers, we've got German double winning champion Lukas Radetzky. I mean, we spoke about this a little while when it looked like Luke was on his way to the Bundesliga Championship, and since then he's lifted the trophy, got his hands on the German Cup as well, with only that defeat against Atalanta in the Europa League final, which incidentally he was on the bench for.
Was he on the bench? Was he injured or was he not playing in the European games?
Xabi Alonso has gone with the backup keeper in that European campaign, and so he was faithful to him and kept him in for the final.
That's
but yeah, it was. I mean, I did watch the final, and Bayer Leverkusen, I don't think would have any complaints. They were soundly beaten, but just when the team went up to collect their runners-up medals, obviously Luque, as the club captain, led the team up for their runners-up medals, and he was gracious in defeat and congratulated pretty much all of the Atalanta players and staff who had formed a little sort of guard of honour to lead them up to the podium there. But yeah.
When you've won the first Bayer Leverkusen's first league title in 100 million years, I reckon you can afford to be gracious.
That's it, mate. That's it. And yeah, I know. We will. I promise you, we will get on to the rest of the squad, but we can't underestimate this achievement. And for those who are listening who haven't seen any of the footage, please go and dig out some YouTube or go to Leverkusen's socials and just check out some of the videos where Luque climbs into the crowd and jumps up onto the podium with the Bayer Leverkusen ultras and gets on the megaphone and bangs the drum and lets them all have a go at the trophy. It's really, really, really cool stuff. So
he's a nutcase, isn't he? And it's no surprise that fans of his
club
and his that's exactly right. Yeah, that's right. No, the fans of his club and the national team just love him to bits.
No, that's it. He's the he's the top man. He was even kind enough to come and speak to us once upon a time. So we've got a lot of time for Luke. So but we must move on. We've got also Jesse Joronen and Viljami Sinisalo are the other two keepers. Again, stories for these two as well. Viljami Sinisalo first, who obviously his parent club is Aston Villa, and he's back there now. But he had an absolute stonking season on loan at Exeter City. There was a little blip in the middle where they went on a nasty sort of 13-match unbeaten run, but Sinisalo
non-losing run or not winning run. You mean?
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, yeah. But thank you for putting me straight there. But yeah, Sinisalo emerged as a bit of a hero in the latter part of the season. I mean, he saved the last-minute penalty to get their first win after that 13-match losing streak, and went on to pull off unbelievable save after save as they steer themselves clear of any sort of disaster over the end of the season. So
he won a load of Player of the Year awards, didn't he? And things like that.
He come home. He did a bit of he did a Utarantale. He came home with all of them. He got fans Player of the Year, coaches Player of the Year. Do you remember that kid at school when he used to win everything? He was like that.
It was never me. I got Sportsman of the Year.
Yeah, me either. But I got Must Try Harder. But there you go. But yeah.
I tell you what, you must try harder to get through this squad list. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night.
No, I'm on it. But I just wanted to say, he really endeared himself to the hearts of the fans down there in Devon. And sorry, mate, I've got another story for you. Jesse Joronen, he's about to play the Serie B playoff final first leg for his Venezia side. They play Cremonese tomorrow in the first. It's a two-legged affair. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Jesse and Jolle, they're 180 minutes away from Serie A. So
good maths.
Cheers. So yeah, moving swiftly on. We've got in defence, we've got Robert Ivanov, who's with Eintracht Braunschweig, who managed to avoid relegation. They went into a little winning run at the end of their Bundesliga 2 season. Things were looking a bit dodgy for them, but yeah, they managed to get enough points to maintain their second tier status. So well done to Robert. We've got Richard Jensen of Aberdeen, Miro Tenho, who had a bit of a disaster last time out, but he's looking really good for his club, Djurgården in Sweden there. So let's just hope that the nightmare he had last time out was a one-off. If he makes it into the starting 11 for either of these friendlies, we'll be getting right behind him. So good luck to Miro. Then we've got Matti Peltola from the DC United in the US. Leo Väisänen makes a return to the squad. Yeah. Also in the US with Austin FC. So that's nice to see Leo back in the squad. Nikolai Alho, who was with Volos in Greece. I think he's left Volos now after a couple of seasons. So Nikolai could be looking for a new club. We've got Sinisalo's teammate from Exeter, Ilmari Niskanen, who's just signed a new 2-year deal down in Devon. So he'll be staying down there for the foreseeable future. Tuomas Ollila, who's at Paris FC in France. Puru Soiri, he's in the squad. He's now playing his football in Romania, I believe it is, with CS Universita Craiova, something like that. So yeah, he's doing all right over there. Thomas Galvez of Manchester City, he's made it as well this time. Glenn Kamara, who's just unfortunately lost the Championship playoff final in England with Leeds United after they soundly beat Norwich City in the semi-final. They came unstuck against Southampton in the final. So yeah, hopefully Glenn's can sort of put that behind him and get his national team head on. We've got Robin Ludd of Minnesota United, who's been pulling up all sorts of trees, providing assists, chipping in with goals. I think 2 weeks ago he became Minnesota United's leading ever goal scorer. So yeah, Robin's doing okay. Anssi Suhonen of Hamburg, he's back in. He's had his injury problems, but he makes it to the squad this time. We've got Urho Nisila. Remember him? He's
Definitely
he's
do.
back. Yeah, he's back. So
I was a bit worried after, like, he's back after 2 years as well, and I was a bit worried he
2
might
years.
have fallen by the wayside because he was terrific for Cups and he played well for the Huuhkajat when he came into the squad
He certainly
as
did.
well, and has the potential to just unlock a defense with that important pass. So I'm
Yeah.
really pleased to see his face back on the lineup when it came out the other day.
So we spoke about Nisila previously. He went off to Seoul to play in the K League, South Korea. Not quite sure what happened there, but went back to Cups for a little while on loan or just on a short term deal, I should say. And now he's at Puskas Academia. So he's over there and in Hungary and doing okay. So that's good. Leo Volta, who's at Sirius in Allsvenskan, he gets a call up. Nilon Mayenpa, who's at Robert Ivanov's old club Volta Poznan in Poland. Who else we got? Teemu Pukki, of course, of Minnesota United. Joel Poyanpala, who we touched on, who's with Venezia. Benjamin Chalaman of Cracovia, who's been scoring goals recently, so that's good. New face, Juho Talvitie of Lommel SK. Oliver Antman, Norgesland, and Casper Terho of Union St. Gallenese in Belgium, who's a player. Sorry, mate. Who I was just wanting to say about Casper Terho, and also who else was it? Yeah, pretty much him, Casper Terho. He's people like Huuhkajat fans have been raving about him and sort of asking questions previously why he's not been in squads before this. But yeah, here he is. So we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, and he's one of the three new call-ups. You mentioned Leo Balta, Juho Talvitie, and Casper Terho. And they're all very young players. So that might be why they haven't been called up before. Terho is 20 years old, came through the ranks at HJK, couple of years in Klubi, 27 games, couple of maybe 3 seasons in the first team, 41 games, scores a few goals. He's a wing back or a winger. So it'd be interesting to see how he gets on now, playing out in Belgium.
He does chip in with the odd goal every now and again. You know, he's been doing okay, and that USG side are not a bad side either.
And then Juho Talvitie from Tampere, came through at Ilves. But see, the thing is, he's 19, but he moved away 3 years ago. So it's very difficult for us to know so much about these young players. He's since in 3 years played 52 times for Lommel, scored 6 goals. So again, it's one for us all to keep an eye on. And similarly with Leo Valta, who's a midfielder, again came through HJK and Klubi.
I think he's only 20, isn't
he? He's 20 and also moved away 3 years ago as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, how old is Galvez? Galvez has had a call up before. He's been in squads before, but he's only young.
I think he's at 18, 19 as well, isn't he? Yeah. I mean, he's been called up once or twice.
Yeah.
Whenever Man City comes on the TV, my stepson Topius always says, "Is Galvez playing?" It's like, no, not this one. Give him a few more years.
That's it. Yeah.
But this, I'm gonna drop a name now. But I was chatting with Kasper Pannanen last week and asked him about this thing of, because he's 21 now. He came back to ASICO last year, so he was about 20, and he'd been away in Bologna for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And I sort of said to him, like, how is that? Like, how does it feel to go away that young and to come back? And, you know, what's your perspective? And he just said yes, it's the better quality of football. He was at Bologna, who are having a cracking time right now. And he said, I went away as a boy and came back as a man. To which I had to reply, a young man. You've still got sitting there talking to me, who's like 2.5 times his age, and you're telling me You came back a man. You've got plenty of time ahead of you. Don't worry about that.
That's it.
But he's, this year in the Ashley Core first team, really doing the business as well. So it hasn't done him any harm, that's for sure. Okay, I reckon, Keke, that's pretty good. I think we've done a good job there of just giving people a bit of a heads up what's coming down the line next week. Tuesday the 4th, what an evening. That's a double header. First you've got Finland at home to Holland from Tampere.
Yeah.
Just about time to go for a shower and freshen up, get a cold drink. Back to the sofa for a 9:45 kickoff. Portugal versus Finland. That's some evening. And that's Tuesday the 4th, and then Friday the 7th is Scotland versus Finland from Hampden Park. Again, a 21:45 kickoff here in Finland, and both on Yle Kaks and Arena, and the links are there in the blog post.
Yeah, and, I mean, I'm sorry, mate. I just wanted to say I'm making my way up to Glasgow from down here. So yeah, I'll be heading up on the train, and if anyone's about in Scotland, in Glasgow, give me a shout. I don't think too many tickets in the away end have been sold for this glamour friendly, but yeah, I imagine there'll be one or two over there. So we'll be trying to keep the boys' spirits up with some singing and dancing and banging out a drum. So we'll see how we get on.
No, it's a shame, because we were planning to go over for that friendly until the draw was done for the Nations League and Finland got England. It was like, oh, maybe we'll go to that. It's a competitive game, and a bit closer to the spiritual home as well. So
indeed.
All right, Keke, thanks for that. Thanks for joining me.
Okay.
I reckon we chatted at least twice as long as I expected us to, but we did cover both teams as well. So I think
we did, and
that's
a lot's happened. We've got champions and people going up, and people saving their clubs from relegation. It's a good time to be a Finland fan. So let's just hope that the ladies and the men can replicate some of this form into the national teams, and we'll be all right, mate.
Yeah, you're right. It's doubled up as a bit of a Finns overseas bumper episode as well, isn't it? So, and next week we're going to be back to look at the sort of May in the Veikkausliiga, what's been going on there, and the Suomen Cup. So we'll be back next week with that. But listener, until next episode, thanks for joining us, and Keke, thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Moikka.
You've been listening to the Finnish Football Show. You can find us online at finishfootballshow.com. Remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening or watching. You can follow the Finnish Football Show page and group on Facebook, and also on Instagram. Escape to Suomi on Twitter is now Finnish Football Show on X. And you will find us on Blue Sky at Finnish Football Pod. See the links in the episode description, along with the links to the Finnish Football Show merch stores.